Hi, this is Jay from LoShuNumerology.com, and today we're going to be doing a reading for Tony, and Tony has sent me his birthday digits, and I've mixed them up for his privacy, taking out any zeros if there were any, because we don't use zero in Lo Shu. And the first thing we're going to do is take these numbers and drop them down into the Lo Shu grid here. The 8s always go here. We've got a 1 for there, a 7 up here, we've got a 2, a 9, another 2, and another 9. So all of the numbers have been distributed into the grid, and the very next thing we do is look for patterns. Look for rows, columns, or diagonals where all of the locations are filled with numbers or empty of numbers. So we're going to do rows first, and the first row, actually all of the rows I can see there have a mix of some and none, so none of them get an arrow. We're going to look for columns, and columns are exactly the same. No arrows there. Diagonals, we've got one right here, and so it gets a dashed arrow. And then this column is a mix of some and none, so only one arrow in this reading. But then we look for locations that have more than one digit, and we've got 2 of those here. We've got the 2s and the 9s. So now that we found everything that we need here in the patterns, I'm going to grab the Lo Shu deck. And Tony, I'm going to pull out the cards that we need for this reading and be back in just a moment. We're back, and the first thing we're going to do is look at all of the arrows. We've got one arrow here, and this is the spirituality arrow. Are you more spiritual or are you more skeptical? And then with a dashed line, that is a minus. So it means that you are less spiritual than somebody else? No, you have a spiritual side, obviously. But as far as spirituality is concerned, Tony, you have a more questioning attitude than others around you, instead of just believing what you hear, and that can actually be a good thing. You're less gullible than other people. So minus spirituality, not a bad thing at all. Now we're going for the numbers. First thing are the 2s. The 2s stands for cooperation, and Tony, that tells me that you have the ability to work well with others, even others that some people can't stand. And that's a skill that can come in handy a lot of times through life. This also tells me that you may not have as many friends as some people, but it also tells me that you have some really important relationships, probably stemmed from working together with these people. And finally, we're going to be looking at the 9s, and the 9 stands for change. You've probably heard that saying, "Who moved my cheese?" about people who can't handle change. That's not you. You may be the one moving the cheese. Change doesn't bother you. And I'm not talking about just external change, things that happen around you. I'm talking about yourself too. You're not the same person you were a year ago. And while that's true of everybody in some way, you're someone who seems to transform on a regular basis. You're continually growing and changing. So taking these all together, you're somebody who is willing to question things to make sure that you get it right. You work well with people, and when change happens, it doesn't throw you. And taking all of these together, Tony, it looks like you're a really solid person. There's your reading, and I hope it gives you something to think about.